Hello and welcome to the monthly Marquee. I'm your host, Bart Levins, director for the Hardin County Schools Performing Arts Center. And today's first guest is Miss Carrie Lewis, representing the Hardin County Playhouse. Carrie, how are you?
Doing fine. How about you?
It is a blustery cold 1st of February.
That's right, it is.
It
So,
totally feels like February. I have a light that's flickering. I don't know if you can see that or not. All right, chill. Stop it. Can you see it talking back to me? No?
no, I can't.
All
You
right.
actually look fine. But if you ever start looking like a disco, I'll let you know. Yeah.
So what's going on at the Hardin County Playhouse?
Well, of course, as we've talked about for a long, long time, not a whole lot's been going on. We've just kind of been waiting and holding our breath and treading water. Well, we've decided to try and move forward. We have talked to the folks at ECTC and we've been given a little leverage. Of course, a lot depends on if our county's still in the red.
Hmm.
But what we're looking at tentatively is doing a play called Talking With. And it is a series of about 11 monologues. So a single person would be on the stage at a time. We would have a reduced audience number. So we would be well within all the protocols for our COVID pandemic. What we'd be looking at doing is for auditions on February 15th and 16th at the college in the Science Auditorium. And we will have a link available if somebody wants to submit a video audition. And the performance dates right now are April 23rd, 24th, and 25th, and then April 30th and May 1st and 2nd. So we would have 2 weekends.
And tell us a little bit about this evening of monologues. You said it. What was the title again?
Talking with,
Talking with.
yes.
I heard
And
talking. I heard talking wet the first time, and I was like,
you never
maybe
know.
April showers. That's a good. No,
Like
talking with.
practicing.
Well, I know that you're going to be putting audition information on your website,
Right.
and so they can find out anything they need there as well. And what's
Absolutely.
that website address again?
It's hardincountyplayhouse.com. And don't forget to check us out on Facebook too. We've got our own page there. So we kind of keep up with things there as well. So
This is great news. Is this the first of several things you've got planned, or are you just
yeah,
touching your
this
toe
is
in the water?
toe in the water. You got it
Okay.
exactly right because it just depends on how everything else shapes up this year. And everybody, I mean, from what I gather of the news, nobody really knows anything. So I feel like I'm in good company, not knowing anything. So we'll just have to wait to see how the rest of this year will shape out, and we'll try and pick up a season or partial season, as we can. So.
Hmm. And what else is going on in the world of HCP as far as fundraising, as far as the plans for the new building?
Well, somebody won the lottery. I saw on the news. That wasn't me. So, unfortunately, but we have had several folks, continue to donate, and that's helped a whole lot. So people can still do that. They can check us out on Facebook and see where to send their donation if they want to. They can go through. Their Kroger, Network for Good, all these different things, Amazon Smiles, a little bit helps, any little thing you can do would help. But right now we've just, been going on that, and a few folks who have sent in fairly sizable donations. So I guess we're going to wait and see. And, I guess I'll play the lottery. I mean, it's getting big. Somebody's got to win. It might as well be me, right?
Why not? Exactly. Yeah. Now I have you and I really haven't talked about this a whole lot, but I can say for Hardin County Schools Performing Arts Center that we've had a lot of people stepping forward with small monetary donations, as I'm sure you have as well. But in
Yes.
addition to that, we've also had a lot of people that are evidently getting a lot of spring cleaning done and making clothing donations, things that they think might make good props and things like that. Are you finding that as well? And is that something that, even though you don't have a home space right now, that you could make use of if people are cleaning out the attic?
We've taken a couple of things that were very unique, but for the most part, we don't really have the space right now to even take those kind of donations. So, as much as we appreciate those things, if they're especially uh, designated to a period in time that would be hard to find anywhere else, we
Mhm.
would certainly love to, have that. But if it's, just, clothing in general, we just don't have room for it. And I'm sure there's other people, places that need it more than us right now.
70s and before clothing items are always useful.
Right.
80s and 90s clothing items,
Not
not
so
so
much.
much. No.
Right.
If
Right.
you're not interested in wearing it,
Right.
and we actually had a volunteer just donate some large steamer trunks.
Wow.
So we're hoping that they're in good shape so that we can store props in. We could use them as props as well. And, so things like that. Those are the kind of things that can be really helpful. But again, all of these things take up space. And
Right.
that's one of the things that you're looking forward to when you have the space of your own.
Right. We're looking, and the way we have got the space planned, should we get to that point, is that we will be able to store all our own props in a nice, environmentally controlled storage area and have easy access, and it'll be a lot easier than what we've done in the past. So
yeah. And again, what is the phone number for HTP and the website and Facebook address, et cetera, et cetera?
Okay, I'm just going to give you the Facebook and the website. Nobody will call.
Nobody will call. I will call. I will call you.
They message us. Most people these days are messaging, believe that or not. So look us up on Facebook, Hardin County Playhouse, or hardincountyplayhouse.com, and all our contact information there. If you want to send us an email or send us a message, we'd love to hear from you. Just give us some encouragement. Just maybe a thumbs up, high five.
Well, we just got through with our 3 live streaming performances of the Hound of Baskervilles, and it was we were able to do them live streaming, and we had a live Q&A with the live chat running afterward after bows, and it was just, we had several wonderful questions, but it was just as exciting to see one of our ushers' names with a comment said, "I'm so happy to see you on stage again." Just touching base with
Right.
our volunteers and with our performers and stuff it's been a lifeline. So I totally understand with what you're saying. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Carrie, it's so good to talk with you again. Thank you so much.
All
And
right.
one of these days we'll see you in person.
Yes, we will. Good to talk to you. Take care.
Take care. You too.
Bye-bye.
My next guest on the Monthly Marquee is Sarah Vaughn with the City of Elizabethtown and the State Theater. How are you doing today?
So good, Bart. How are you? Thank you for letting us come on again.
Glad to have you anytime. We can do this weekly if you want to.
Hey, sounds good to me. Unfortunately, I've got the time right now. So
I know. Well, I was talking to our costumer, and she's like, "I'm working at Derby this week. Is it possible if I put off the Sherlock laundry a week?" And I went, "Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine." Yes. Yeah. So, like you guys, we're still kind of creeping along, waiting and hoping and watching and all of those good things. But we did bring out a couple of movies in the month of January, which to some folks may not sound like much, but to us,
That's 2 weekends.
It's 2 weekends. We were able to bring some folks in the door. We welcomed about 200 people total. We had
what is your capacity at the moment?
Capacity at the moment for at one time is about 240, 260, with social distancing. So we're forced at the 50% capacity, but you can't do 50 with social distancing. So we're at about a third.
Yeah. We're at 50% capacity. I think I lose track of the numbers. I think that's 175 for us, even though 50% capacity should be like 300.
Right.
And something.
Right.
But you can't spread people out enough. So it's 75 for us.
Exactly. And you don't know if people are going to come in groups of 2 or they're going to come in groups of 15, So you have to, it just kind of varies, and we just kind of watch it. We haven't had the concern or the issue yet to where we had to cut off sales or anything like that. So unfortunately.
Right.
But but it's gone well. And you know, here at the State Theater, we're only able to show movies off of DVDs, really. So it has to be things that have already been released. So just trying to find that niche of what's going to work, and also being January. So January in a normal non-COVID year is just kind of, you know, everybody's broke from Christmas. Everybody's tired from Christmas. A lot of times we're battling illnesses anyway. And so it's cold, it's weather, it's all of those things. So, you know, typically January, February, we don't do a ton anyway. Now, that being said, February of 2020, before the world shut down, really, we actually had an amazing month. And so it gave us a lot of hope and looking at the future. So hopefully 2022 will look, you know, very different. We had a couple of concerts. We had a lot of cool things happening. So right now we're just, like I said, we had a couple movie showings, and and then of course we've had some announcements. So our theater is able to be rented out. And we just announced this past week that August, we have a rental for James Gregory. He's considered the funniest man in America. And so
Who decides that?
I'm sorry.
Who decides that?
I don't know.
Is there a panel?
There's got to be. They said it, right? They said it.
Mel Brooks. You know, who's on this panel?
I don't want to know.
I want to party with him, but I don't want to know. Yeah.
Exactly. I don't want to know. Yeah. So they have said he's the funniest man in America. So he is actually coming in August. We just were able to announce that tickets are on sale starting this Friday, actually. So you can get that at thestate270.org. The show will be happening, like I said, August 20th. We had announced a little while back, actually, that Henry Cho, comedian, is going to be coming July the 17th. And so those tickets are live on our website right now as well. But yeah, so we're just trying to bring some folks in the door. And then something that's really exciting, something new. We wanted to do it in 2020 and didn't get a chance, but we're having Brides Night Out on February the 25th. It's a Thursday evening. And this is, we're calling it Brides Night Out because, well, a couple of things. One is we rent the facility for weddings, sure, and it's an amazing facility for weddings. It's amazing. And we're making it more amazing by renovating a couple other rooms and adding some more amenities for our brides and for our grooms. And so we wanted to highlight that. And some folks call, and I think that they feel a little intimidated to come and actually take a tour of the building. I think they feel like, well, if I meet with Beth or I meet with Priscilla, you know, they're going to expect me to sign a contract. And of course, that's not the case at all. We know you need to see it. You need to compare prices. You need to call. You need to do what's going to work for you, your budget, your dream wedding, all of those things. And so this is an opportunity for folks to come in. They can be completely anonymous, kind of a deal, you know, and they can check out our facility. And then we're also going to have
almost like an open house.
Just exactly. It's basically like an open house where you get a chance to see the theater, because you can get married in the theater. We've had beautiful weddings in there. And you know, what bride does not want to get married on a stage like that with theater style seating? I mean, it's beautiful.
You're still doing movies. You've got, what are your February movies?
So our first one is Harry Met Sally on February 13th. And then the next one, we're actually going to be celebrating Black History Month. And I've got to confirm that title was actually done, but we'll be posting that all over social media. And I believe that is the last Saturday in February, but we'll post that. That was something that actually a detail that kind of still getting finalized, but we'll be putting that out there as well. And as soon as we do, you can, if you want to make sure you get a seat because you're just not sure, you can purchase those tickets online at thestate270.org.
And you've got James Gregory and Henry Cho coming in, and tickets for those will be on sale at what point?
Henry Cho is on sale now, and James Gregory will start sale this Friday.
Cool. And then your April concert with the Big Three has been moved to what month?
Well, that'll probably be November, but we'll get that out as well. Mm-hmm.
And the thing as for my fiance, I'm excited about, you've got Brides Night Out coming up, which really sounds like a lot of fun.
Yes, February 25th, totally free. You don't have to RSVP. No need to call us and tell us you're coming. We don't know how many to expect. We have no idea, if we have to form a line and
We'll have a
wrap it
bouncer at the
around.
door. Have a
Yes.
bouncer at the door. Yeah.
Yes, it might be me, but yes, we most definitely do. And congratulations, Bart. I didn't know you got engaged. Yay.
Yeah. We just figured if we could make it through COVID, we could make it through anything.
Isn't that the truth?
I've
been married 13 years, and that's true.
Not quarantined because neither of us got sick, but so much time concentrated at home, just the two of us, and we didn't drive each other crazy. We still love each other just as much, even after spending all of that time together. So one good thing out of COVID.
That's awesome. That's finding somebody to commit and spend your rest of your life together is a pretty big deal. So that's awesome. Congratulations. Well, you guys come that night and bring whoever you want and check out the vendors. And if nothing else, you'll get a couple of great ideas and maybe a drink. So
maybe a drink. There you go. That is a good night. Sarah, thank you so much.
Thanks, Bart.
Our next guest on the Monthly Marquee is Carmen Caldera-Brasca with the Elizabethtown Performing Arts Center. And there she is right there on the stage. How are you doing?
I'm good. It feels strange to be up here, but need to use it.
Exactly. Well, speaking of using your space, you've actually been using your space less, but using your time more, as you and I have discussed. This is a time when you do a lot of planning and plotting and pivoting.
Yes, and pivoting. We seem to use that word monthly in our interviews.
Yeah, you're right. I have to say, I read an article in the News Enterprise last week on the worship page, and it was an article about religious leaders, pastors, etc. And they didn't term it as depression. It was the term they used, because I don't feel depressed. I feel like going in work, trying my best, trying to get things done. I feel anxiety. It's not depression. The words that they used that I really liked, the quote was decision fatigue.
Yeah.
I went, that's it. That's it exactly. Yeah. I've had to make more decisions about the same topic multiple times as things alter and change. I'm just fatigued. I'm really, really tired and don't have a lot to show for it.
Right. That's how I felt at the beginning with all of the webinars from all of the different organizations and about the science and about the impacts on communities and all the different things that you could do to try to make things safe. And I was exhausted by April.
Yeah.
And have just kind of stayed there because everything's constantly changing. There's always more information, and of course that's how science works. Is as we learn, things change, and with something new, there's always going to be more to learn. So there's always going to be changes, and so yes, I think exhaustion and fatigue is definitely two of the buzzwords for well, we can't say 2020 anymore because now we're into 2021. But yes, for this time in our lives. And
it's not just us. It's not just religious leaders, community leaders, school leaders, restaurant owners. We're all facing those same things. But one of the things that we can do through the arts is offer therapy, in a sense, a way to breathe, a way to leave those things in a little pocket of our mind and explore creativity in another pocket of our mind. And that's been something that you've been very focused on during this with your students.
Yes, absolutely. Just trying to give them opportunities because they're stressed and exhausted as well, because they are having to pivot constantly from NTI to hybrid back to NTI or virtual 100% of the time. And so they're having to find ways to stay involved with their classmates when they don't ever see them. So they are as stressed and exhausted as everybody else. So trying to give them an outlet um, for that frustration or that energy, or just a place where they can kind of um, get away um, from all of that has really been my focus this year.
What kind of things are you doing with your students?
Well, we are currently in Poetry Out Loud, which is with the high school. It's a national program with the National Endowment for the Arts and the National Poetry Foundation, and it's brought to Kentucky through the Kentucky Arts Council. So the majority of our students at Elizabethtown High School worked with a guest artist from the Kentucky Arts Council on poetry recitation. And then students chose a poem, and a lot of them just did it as their class project, but then several of them will compete. And of course, it's virtual this year. So they have submitted their videos of their 2 poems. They had to choose 2. And so they have submitted those there with the judges. And by Friday, we will send our school champion to the Kentucky Arts Council, and they will compete at the state level. And we have had the state winner from Elizabethtown High School several years. So it's always exciting. And then the state winner goes on to nationals. But again, where they would normally get to go to Washington, D.C. and compete and all of that, everything is virtual this year. So I'm glad we're still able to do it, because I have heard that a lot of schools did not want to go on with it since it was virtual, or they just didn't have time, especially going between virtual and hybrid and all of that. So I'm glad that we were able to make that happen.
Well, and I am always trying to find the silk purse out of the sow's ear. And, you know, the one thing that has been great is the embracement of virtual competitions, virtual webinars, so that a student that could go on this Friday to state doesn't have to travel, doesn't have to, spend the night at a hotel with their family. And then if they went to national, fly to DC. It does make it more available to more students who otherwise economically might be discouraged from participating.
Yes, that was my experience with our theater workshops this summer. Was I had students who were never able to do it before, either because of finances or transportation, because parents work during the day. They were able to do the workshops, and they had never been able to do that before. So there are silver linings, and there have been silver linings the whole time this has been going on. So yes, we need to focus on those.
Well, speaking of silver linings, you were sharing before we started recording, you've been doing weekly lunch meetings.
Yes.
With your students.
Yes. We had been doing those every Wednesday when everyone was virtual, but once we went back to hybrid, we moved them to Fridays. And every Friday I have a meet open for 30 minutes because they have a designated lunchtime. And they're welcome to jump on and just say hi to whoever's there, or they can come stay the whole time. If they just need to talk or vent, they can do that. And some weeks I don't have anybody, and some weeks my screen is practically full. So
and they may be on there not even talking to you, just it's an opportunity to get with those other theater kids.
Yes. There have been times that I just sit there and let them just kind of hang out together, because they need that. They need that time because they don't have it any other way.
Yeah. What are you seeing on the horizon? I know that there's a lot of fog on the horizon, and it's a very cloudy forecast. But I know you're still trying to find your way through to the next tomorrow. What kind of things are you considering looking at for your students down the road?
I would love for the high schoolers, especially our seniors, to be able to do a show online. And for safety purposes, that's how we will do it. It would be through Google Meet recordings and then edited together. But a lot of that depends on, do they have the time and the energy to put into doing that?
Yeah.
So I think our next step is to discuss what they feel they are going to be able to handle at this point, because we're coming up on, the end of the school year, as hard as that is to comprehend. So we've got college choices and scholarship applications and finals, and a lot of them are taking college classes too, and so there's that. So um, doing what is best for them as opposed to what I envision for them. So we will be talking about that in the next couple of weeks, and seeing where they really are. What are they going to want to do that's not going to just add more stress to them? That's my priority, is that whatever we do, it's something that they can enjoy. We'll get back to, cracking the whip on learning lines and blocking and all of that. We'll do that when we're back together. For now, I just want them to do what they're happy doing. And if that is, let's all watch a show online and, talk about it, then that's what we'll do. And if they want to put a show together, then that's what we'll do. But it's got to be something that they're going to enjoy and not add more stress.
Yeah. I did. No more decision fatigue.
That's right. We'll put the decision in their lap this time.
Carmen, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
'Cause you got to love it, yeah. So time, 'cause I'm moving on the groove. 'Cause you got to love it, yeah. So time, 'cause I'm moving on the groove.
A flash of lightning reveals a dead body, and nearby, fresh and clear, lay the footprints of a gigantic hound. So begins the pack's penultimate installment of the novel stage adventures of Sherlock Holmes. And much like the eponymous Hound of the Baskervilles itself, the specter of COVID haunted us throughout the production. Just as the play's characters followed markers to avoid being sucked into the grimp and mire, the cast and crew adhered to the pack's pandemic rules of operation to prevent the spread of the virus amongst our team. Even under such hindrances, the world's most famous mystery is brought to life through the vivid characterizations, imaginative staging, and incredible sound and lighting design that pack audiences have come to expect. In the end, we could not have the in-person audiences we'd wished for, but our actors were able to act sans masks for 4 live-streamed performances last month. These performances have now been edited together along with rare camera angles that will place the audience right on stage with the actors, as well as behind-the-scenes footage to create a unique on-demand production that all fans of Sherlock, local theater, and the pack will not want to miss. Tickets for the on-demand performances from February 22nd through 28th are $10 plus fees and are on sale now at www.thepack.net. That's going to wrap things up this month, folks. Thank you for joining us for the monthly Marquee, and we'll see you back here next month.